You're listening to That Great Manc Pod, Greater Manchester's community podcast. Top one, our kid.
Hi, welcome to the first of our Carling sessions, supported by the Carling Made Local Fund. We'll be showcasing some of the amazing creative talent across our Greater Manchester that would normally be entertaining you in the local, helping them build back their audience and hopefully persuading you to grab a ticket for when they're back performing live. In this episode, Damien and I had a great chat with singer-songwriter, musician and performer Sam Lyon. Sam will also be performing some of her amazing songs just for you. It's a massive treat this. Sam has a really beautiful voice. And as the Carling sessions are supported by the Carling Made Local Fund, just a gentle reminder to always drink sensibly.
I just can't believe it, honestly. So I keep, whenever I take my old strings off, usually I keep them because then, and I keep them in my guitar bag, because if I go to a gig and one snaps, then I know if I've, used the new pack already for some reason, then I've got an old one just as a backup. Yeah. And I've always done it. And I went into my drawer, I took all my strings off and was like, right, I'll restring it. I had some new packs in the drawer, all my old packs. And got them all out. I went to put the new ones on and they were rusty. They've been in there that long now because I bought them pre-lockdown. So I was like, oh, great. So I just had to put the old ones back on.
This is what I was saying the other day. It's like a great analogy, isn't it, for the last 12 months we had? Rusty strings.
I can't believe it. I know.
Sam, can you tell us a little bit about yourself then? So, how long you've been doing this and just a potted history.
Yes, so I am a full-time self-employed musician. So I've been full-time now for 5 years. I think it's about 5 years. It could maybe be 6 this year. I don't know, actually. Always done it as a hobby. Always loved it since I was a kid. Always said I'm going to be a singer when I'm older. And obviously my mum and dad have always been very stern and they're like, that's a very, unlikely job. Yeah. And here I am anyway. And I love it. I absolutely love it because it doesn't feel like a job because I enjoy it, and I think that's a really important thing. And because I manage myself, and I've always really prided myself on doing everything independently. So I've not got a manager, I've not got a publisher, I've not got a label, nothing. Wow. And I love that because it's a learning curve for me as well. And like I said earlier, I feel like I very much built my career based on being a little magpie and watching what everyone else is doing, whether it's the local artists or the big artists. Even I'll look at like how Taylor Swift has released her album, like how she's worded the post, how many weeks in between the single and the album she's done, and that kind of thing.
Well, that makes perfect sense. It's I think one of the only ways of getting really good stuff done nowadays is to do it yourself, and there's nothing wrong with relying on with working with other people, but when you start relying on other people, that's when it kind of falls apart a little bit. And it says
technology and all this, Paul. I think it's giving you the opportunity to do that. I've spoke to artists, musicians, and stuff, and a lot of them are using this time to do some of their own projects.
In terms of, and I don't want to go too heavily on lockdown, like I was saying before. Damien and I have had our blips during lockdown as everyone else has, because the first one, not so much because, it was nice weather. I try and get out every day for a walk. It was a little bit different. It was nice to spend time with the kids. Now it's got to the point where it's not so nice to be spending so much time with the kids, although they're back in school today. The second lockdown was kind of a little bit more of the same, but this one has been this has been a killer, I think, for a lot of people. And certainly, I work with a lot of creatives, and how some of them have kept their head above water, let alone cope with the mental health. And I know it's all intertwined. It's just been, it's really sad to see, especially for people that you care about, and you know that they're really, really struggling because all they want to do is something that they've always wanted to do and that they feel they were born to do. And they're not getting the opportunity to do it. And the flip side to that is there aren't many people who can make it a full-time career. You've done amazingly well, the fact that you are. So, a lot of them have that job in hospitality, The majority of them. So it's like a double-edged.
It is, and
sword.
also I feel like it's only emphasised that gap even more, or that difficulty even more with the lockdowns, because I know one of my musician friends, who's also self-employed and full-time, he went self-employed only 2 years ago. So obviously with the self-employment grants, you had to be self-employed for 3 years to get the government support. So he's obviously hit a wall, hasn't had any financial support or anything. And I look at them and I just think, how horrible must that be to know that you're doing what you want to do and you've put all that effort in to pull it off, and then it's come to a stop and you can't get any help for it. I just think it's horrible.
Well, I mean, hopefully we're coming, there's some light at the end of the tunnel, and there is, and it will, it will get back to some sense of normality. Whether that normality is good or bad, I think this has always been an opportunity to try and do a few things a little differently, and maybe we'll see that in how creatives are treated in the future, because everyone has been, binging on the Netflix, listening to the live streams.
Yeah.
Lots of creators have really, really gone out the way to support, their own mental health, but support other people's.
Yeah.
And you just hope that this country hasn't got short memories, which it's proved to have with the nurses, certainly as far as the governments are concerned. But, we're hoping as things get a bit better over the next few months and venues start opening, that,
yeah,
we start seeing more smiles anyway. Listen, we've been rabbiting on long enough. How many songs have you got to play?
How many songs can my rusty strings manage? I've got about 3 in mind.
Right, cool.
If that's cool.
No, that's brilliant, honestly.
And it's funny, do you know what?
For me and him as well, because it's
I picked up my guitar yesterday when I was trying to restring it, and I thought I'll have a play through, and oh my god, I couldn't even remember how to play my own songs. How bad's that?
Have you just been? Have you just put it to one side in your head? It's like, okay, let's just wait until things, I can get back out there. Or
it's been a hard one, and I'm going to be touching on a very not smiley topic, really, because at the start of the lockdown, my dad passed away really suddenly.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It absolutely just tore me apart, and music was very much his thing as much as mine. And I just put it to one side, and I was like, I can't even think about it, because the moment I thought about it, I just cried. And it's been like that for months. And it's only sort of when the new year kicked in, I thought, right, I need to sort of stop wallowing in everything now, and just give myself a little bit of a kick up the bum. And I started planning things. I maybe didn't pick up the guitar or anything, but I was planning things. And I think that's what I needed. I just needed that little bit of motivation being put back into me. And routine, I think that's what it is when you don't have routine, you just think about everything. So so music has taken a little bit of a back burner, maybe not by choice and by choice in a way, but so I'm just slowly getting back into it. So the poor guitar has just been left abandoned, and is just now getting its debut again.
Was your dad a big part of what you were doing? Was he a roadie?
He was very much so, yeah. And it's
what was he called?
When, John. And he I think he loved it more than I did, and if that's even possible. Like if I released a new song, every time he'd cry, he'd love it. Do you know what I mean? And I don't have anything to replace that now, because my mum loves music, but she doesn't love it. It's not her sort of go-to interest. And so I don't have anyone to fill the shoes that my dad sort of left behind, really. So it's just coming to terms with that, and sort of, I don't know. It's a funny one. Yeah,
well, listen, I can't imagine anything more nerve-wracking and something that would make you as proud as seeing one of your kids playing in front of an audience. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. He'd have to have his nanas there. Or they'd have to have the nanas there, because even if they're terrible, nanas just say, "Oh, that was amazing," and
Well, I think everyone's been telling us that, Paul. I mean, that's why one of the reasons we decided to do these sessions was people had fell out of routine. I know in your circumstances it was a special reason, you know, but people have lost that routine. People doing the club circuit, going around the pubs, doing all that sort of stuff, which was probably part of what you did previously, you know. And that's just not there for people anymore. And that's why we wanted to do these sessions, to sort of get people back into it, but also to let other people out there, the listeners and the dads and the people that support you, know that there is hope, you know, that it is going to continue. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, no, definitely. I think it does play a big role at having routine in your life, and I don't think we realised it until now that we, you know, as people, there's very few things that we need to survive, and I think we've realised during this lockdown that the absolute basics are so important, like fresh air and human interaction. Yeah. Oh my God, when you're deprived of human interaction, it sends you absolutely loopy, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what we've certainly from a charity point of view. We were out and about all over the place causing mischief, and I miss that. I miss that social interaction, and it's going to be, you know, either it's going to take some time for people to get back into that, or it's going to be you won't be able to go anywhere without somebody stopping you, and you know, starting the conversation, albeit. But we'll see that how that one turns out. So please, Sam, if you can. Play us something. Right.
Let's give it a quick tune and make sure it's not sounding horrific. So I think the first song that I'll do is a song called Beautiful Life. Now, this song it's a happy one, yay. And it's just a song about, you know, appreciating who you are and what you've got and just the life that you've been given. And it stemmed from I met a guy in the Chester open mic scene, another musician, and he was like a very masculine bloke, you know, with like leather jacket, big beard, like built. And I found out that he was a ballet dancer and he studied dance at uni and everything like that. And I absolutely just loved that idea. and I thought, you know what, shame on me for judging him when I first found out that, you know. And so I ended up just writing the song with that in mind. The whole thing is kind of built around him, and he featured in the music video as well, doing some dancing. So
where can we see that video?
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Okay. Yeah. So it's
on your channel.
It's called It's a Beautiful Life, it's called. Go and check it out.
Brilliant. Right, we're going to put ourselves on mute. Can you do that there, Damien? You don't want to hear us wheezing in the background. We play. Brilliant. Thanks, Sam.
Sweet.
It's a beautiful life, won't you come around and take what you need from it? It's a beautiful life, but the way that you eyed says you're running away from it. Oh, it's a beautiful life, won't you let them inside, show the world what they need to see? It's a beautiful life, won't you come around and be who you need to be? Oh, this ain't a masquerade, and you ain't a villain in disguise. This ain't a circus, this is just a beautiful life. Today is the dark, but tomorrow's an open door of light. This is a circle, this is just a beautiful life. It's a beautiful life, oh, won't you let them inside, show the world what they need to see? It's a beautiful life, oh, won't you come around and be who you need to be? Oh, oh, circus. This is just a beautiful life. Today is the dark, but tomorrow's an open door of light. This is a circle. This is just a beautiful life. Oh, 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 oh. This ain't a masquerade, no. You ain't a villain in disguise. This ain't a circus. This is just a beautiful life. Today is the dawn, but tomorrow's an open door of light. This is a circle. This is just a beautiful life. You are a king. Oh, you are a queen in my eyes. See for yourself, 'cause this is just a beautiful life. You are a poem. Oh, you're a love story brought to life. It's like a dream. It is just a beautiful life.
Wow. Oh, mate, that was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
That was your beautiful voice. But yeah, I love the when you say what the story was, and it's on its own, it's a beautiful song. But yeah, when you said what the reason, you know, what's behind it is, yeah, life isn't a masquerade, is it?
Exactly. And do you know what? I'm the kind of person who, whenever I go and watch someone at a gig, I love knowing the reasons behind their songs and the stories and what inspired it. So I always make a point to just tell people, and I feel like it just invites people in so much more. So thank you.
Oh, brilliant.
That narrative is really important. I mean, whether it's in visual art, whether it's in song, whether it's in film, it's I can appreciate something as it is in the moment, but then having that depth of understanding the narrative behind it, it just gives so much more, you know, to it, and you can see the links within your own life and stuff. So that was absolutely gorgeous. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'll tell you what, while the strings are holding up, and that sounded great to me. I mean, I wouldn't listen. It definitely didn't sound out of tune to me.
I know. I was like, it's okay so far. Let's hope that it stays that way. But I'll keep checking it anyway.
You know, I love acoustic music.
Well, it's funny, you know, because that song actually is the first song that I ever released that didn't actually have any real instrumentation on it. So the actual recording, because everything that I do is acoustic. I build it from, you know, I write with my guitar. And this one, I'd hit a wall with me songwriting. I was just so uninspired. And then, and I had this idea of obviously after meeting this guy, he was just floating around in my head for ages. And I thought, I need to do something, but I can't. I picked up my guitar and just didn't know what to do with it. And I dug out an old keyboard. This is a bit of a better one, but an old keyboard that I had since I was like, 11, where you can press a button and it's, changes the sounds to something.
Yeah, cha in the background.
And I was playing around on that, and I found this sort of like electro-y sound, and I was like, I quite like this, and it just triggered a whole new fountain of inspiration in me, and the whole song was written with this sort of electronic sound. And I went into the studio with it, and I was like, it needs to sound like this, but better and less naff. And so we built it all based on electric sort of sounds, and it's really cool.
What did he think of the song?
He loves it.
Yeah,
he loves it. I don't know if he likes me telling the story about him.
He don't want everyone to know he's a ballet dancer. Yeah. He's quite happy with the leather jacketed.
I don't know. I think he's all right with it. I played it on my tour last year. Well, the year before. And,
but how many people have a song written about him in a nice way?
Exactly.
You know.
I made sure that he felt honoured. I made him stand up in the audience. I was like, hey, everyone, this is who the song's about.
Oh, it's amazing. So what's this next one?
So this next one, actually, it follows a similar theme, really, in the beauty of appreciating life, I guess. But the story behind this one is a little bit more hard hitting, I guess. The other one's a bit of a fun one, and it's more just like accepting yourself. Whereas this one, so I had a friend when I was about 18 who passed away, and when he passed, something that he always used to say whenever people were upset or anything like that, he'd come and sit with you and he'd buy you ice cream and he'd just be like, just talk at me. It's cool. And he just sort of said, nothing matters in the long run, just make every second count. You know, that was always kind of the advice that he gave. And it was obviously something that you never think about when you're just having that kind of conversation. But after he passed, it sort of became a little bit of a legacy that he left behind. And a few people in our friendship group got every second counts tattooed on them and things like that. And obviously, as a songwriter, your first instinct is to put it into a song. I know I could have written something that was very, very personal to me and that people couldn't relate to, but I wanted to kind of put a spin on it and have it so that people could put their own thoughts to it and sort of inspire them to live by that, that idea of making every second count.
That's a great idea.
It's one of those that sort of wrote itself in a way. I think it just sort of fell together. So this is a song called Every Second Counts.
Brilliant.
Once we get to walk upon this earth, twice we get to make a mistake and learn. 3 times is enough to realize you're stronger than all of your doubts. And for me, live your days like every second counts. Fire and be fired at. Wear your love as a shield and a charm. And no, not all can be saved, but all can be loved. And for me, live happy here on. 'Cause when I'm 99 and I'm looking back on my life, I wanna know I made it all that I could have. No, I made some bad decisions, but they made me wiser. And I can smile and roll my eyes and think back to all the beautiful times I had. And know I made every second count. Cause we're all faced with choices, and we might choose wrong. It's a warpath of consequences and lessons learned. But if you hide away at risk of failing, then there'll be no sunshine to light the road. Cause when you're 99 and you're looking back on your life, you wanna know you made it all that you could have. No, you made some bad decisions, but they made you wiser. And you can smile and roll your eyes and think back to all the beautiful times you And know you made every second count. Every second, I'll make 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 every second. Live your days happy from here on. Live your days happy from here on. Cause when we're 99 and we're looking back on our lives, we wanna know we made it all that we could have. No, we made some bad decisions, but they made us wiser. And we can smile and roll our eyes and think back to all the beautiful times we had. And know we made every second count.
Oh, wow. Wow.
What a stunning legacy that you know, for your friend there. Yeah, I was thinking about, I mean, I'd like to say I don't know him, but I could just feel him there. And for you to then use that as a way to inspire others, do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's really lovely.
It's a stunning legacy to your friend, but I'm not, you know, there was other things I was thinking about while you were, that relate to me when you were singing.
Well, that's it. And I think that's the importance of music, I think, because everyone puts their own, you know, their own experiences to other songs. You know, I can sing it for my reasons. Other people can listen to it for their reasons. And I think that's so important.
See, I can just imagine you playing that in a crowded pub and just everyone just being sat there with the drinks, just being, you know, completely caught up in the moment. Even the bloke who stands at the bar, he thinks he's dead cool and never joins in anything. Just think, yeah, I love. Just it tells a story, and I mean that the lyric "stronger than all your doubts."
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That is really, really powerful.
Yeah, that's about the. It's that thing about acting out of love rather than doing nothing out of fear, you know.
Exactly. That's a really nice way of wording it, actually. Yeah, very much. Yeah, wow. I like that.
Wish I could sing. I wish I could play an instrument. I've always said, I've got 3 boys, and it was like, you know, I'd love you to be able to play the guitar, because I think it's that instrument. I just think it's an amazing instrument, but you can take it anywhere, and you know the girls will love it, and you're never going to get a girlfriend just because you play the recorder at school. Not putting down recorders, but
I was going to say I've got mine here in the air.
But if you can whip that guitar out and play a song like that, that's just I think it's just, yeah, that was beautiful.
Thank you. Honestly, thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, you've made coming back nice and easy.
No, it's a lot of the themes that you're bringing up in the last 2 songs is exactly why me and Paul started this charity. You know, it's why we started Manx Spirit. It was to create a legacy. It was to inspire our kids. It was to, you know, give a voice to people that didn't have a voice anymore. You know, and this happens all the time to us, doesn't it, Paul? Where we meet people and it's exactly the same stuff. You know, it's like all these like minds, like souls coming together. You know, and that's what That's Mank. That's being Mank. That's Mank spirit. That's the way we see
it's
it.
also every second counts. It's the practical side of it. I mean, I was saying before to Callum, we have this rule, probably the only rule we've got that we actually live by, which is, if it takes more than 2 meetings with whoever to try and get something done positive, we walk away.
Yeah.
Because every second does count, especially during the lockdown when people have been really struggling and we've been trying to put these things into place, and you get, well, okay, we'll have another meeting. Well, and it's like, no, we need to do it.
Yeah.
We need to do it now. There's no time like the present.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's weird. I mean, Damien's always saying, oh, these things happen for a reason. I'm always saying, oh, Damien, shut up.
We'll make a believer out of him together. I keep trying. I said the universe will always bring you the right people.
Yeah, I just think you two have had a chat before this and said, play this, write this song now about this, make him a nicer person.
Well, this is where she goes, my next song's on the recorder.
Well, if you want.
But yeah, recorder, you think, no.
It's not really a fancy sounding instrument.
I mean, we've lost that audience. Obviously, all the recorder teachers will be switching off right now, going, bastards.
Oh, no, I mean, do you know what? We've been doing like Zoom quizzes during the lockdown, me and my friends, to try and keep occupied. And we've been bringing hilarious things to the table, as inventive quiz rounds. And I dug out my recorder for one of them and played really badly a few songs, and they had to guess what the songs were. It was the
That's
first
a
time I
great
played it
idea.
since I was about 10.
So are you from Manchester? Were you born in Manchester?
I'm actually Cheshire. My mum's
Right.
Manchester through and through. But I spend a lot of time in Manchester gigging. I know loads of people on the Manchester scene, and I'm really close with them all. And I'm not that far away, so I'm like an adopted Mank.
Oh no, you are officially now. I mean, I'll send you the certificate in the post. Officially Mank made. But yeah, I mean, lots and lots of people come into Manchester for so many reasons. Mm-hmm. Certainly to listen to really good music. Anyway. I'm sick of hearing my voice. I wouldn't mind listening to more. Can you play us another one?
Yeah. So the one I've got lined up to maybe finish with. Hopefully. Like
I don't know if there's already, Paul.
You can't beat a bit of honesty, can you, Damien?
Yeah. I've played 2 songs now.
Holmes under the hammer. Holmes under the hammer. The hammer is on in 10 minutes.
I'm sick of staring at these 2 50-year-old blokes here, just watching me play the guitar.
No, sorry, Sam. Go
on. It is a song called Constellations, and this one, I guess, this is a bit different than the others because there's not really like a real message behind this one. It's just like I don't know. For me, this is it's my standout song for me when I play it. Simply because it's so different than all my other songs in its structure. Like all my other songs have a very set structure and it's verse, chorus. Whereas when I was writing this one, I don't know what I must have been doing, but there's absolutely no structure to it whatsoever.
Yeah, that sounds like me and Damien.
So it's one that I get to just kind of go a little bit wild on. It kicks in and when I went on tour with it, I had a little band with me, and I had like a cello, violin, piano, and it just sounded amazing. Like when they kicked it in, I just love it. But I just love playing it, and I won't this time, but I normally get so carried away that I end up ripping my hands and just being like a real badass rock star for once.
Well, don't knock anything over.
And then I smashed the guitar.
Yeah. Throwing a TV out of the window and you then forget she's at home.
But it's as badass as a soft acoustic artist gets. But yeah, it's called Constellations, and I hope you like it.
Thanks, Sam.
I'm not tranquil like a slow stream. I'm not patient like an old oak tree. But I'll trace the dots on your body, then hold you close still for as long as I breathe. And I may not have your intellect, but I'll listen for a while. Oh, and I may not leave you be sometimes, but I'll greet you with a smile. And I'll trace the dots on your body like constellations. It's you, it's always you. It just about held its tune.
Oh,
I love the energy there. I mean, I love all kinds of music. I know Paul likes a lot of acoustic and stuff like that, but I listen to, when I'm doing a lot of work or writing a funny bit, something heavy, I bang the music on real loud. It's things like Incubus and Tool and Perfect Circle. So the whole thing's a story and a performance rather than a song. Does that make sense? And I felt exactly the same with that, because the changes in rhythms, the spaces for you to think, you know, the listener to sort of fill in the gaps, and then no, I got a shiver. Thank you very much. That was really good.
I can just imagine it, and obviously you see the bit where the other musicians obviously kick in.
Oh, it's amazing. I loved it. Like on the stabs where it's like, have the violins where they're like, oh, it's so good. It's just so nice. I love playing it with them because I stand there and I'm like, woo.
I just love your lyrics, like the patient like an old oak tree. I tell you what, I've not got any tattoos, but there's been about 3 or 4 things in your songs now when I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, that is a tattoo.
Funnily enough, I actually sell temporary tattoos on my online store.
Do you?
It's been a great time to put in a plug.
Well, listen, we'll obviously bang all that on anyway, because we listen. I'd love, and honestly, maybe you'll get to know me and Damien a bit better, but we really don't say stuff that we don't mean, because we haven't got the time.
We're too old. We haven't got long left
when you're our age. So our attitude. I'd love to see you perform live. I mean, it's brilliant, and it's great for me and him to sit here and listen to you on a Monday afternoon. It's a real privilege, honestly, and I mean that. But to see you in a room playing, but what I love doing is when I see any performers is, I mean, obviously I love listening to what's going on, but I love looking around the audience, and just seeing how other people are reacting, and I could just imagine them sat there with big daft smiles on their faces. Just think, are just completely away with the fairies, just thinking about their own things, and that to me is what it's all about.
It gives that space, that respite, that moment, because it gives people the chance to be in the moment, innit? And I think that's what a lot of people are missing at the moment, because everyone's on top of each other. You can't escape your problems. You can't, and it is, I'm missing it as much as Paul is. It's not the drinking, it's not the thing. And I know this is supported by Carlin, but it's go to the pub to sit there and listen to some fantastic music, look around at other people.
Yeah.
In that moment with you, that collective thing of you don't have to be talking to them. You're all in the same moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's that human interaction again as to what it comes down to. I think so much of who we are just thrives from human interaction and bouncing off of other people, and it's the whole. Life is a collaborative effort. You can't just do it on your own.
See, there's another tattoo.
Yeah.
There's going to look like David Beckham. Well, obviously not like David Beckham, don't get me wrong, but
I'm just thinking now, if you say, do you actually design the tattoos, Sam?
It was something I did on my first tour. I was like, I need some cool merch. I need to make some money here. So I had a girl down at design like my t-shirts and everything like that at the time, and she did a few tattoos for me, and I think they were amazing, but nobody else seems to think so. So I've got loads if you want any.
That's the story of my creative life, that I think this is amazing. Nobody else does it. It's like, what do they know?
It's like, oh, cool to have my lyrics on your arm, but no, apparently everyone else is an adult. And
can you give us it? So if I want, obviously we want to listen to more of your music, where do we go? What do we do?
So, if you just go on Google, you can type in Sam Lyon, Lyon, Sam Lyon Music. That should come up with my website, Facebook, YouTube, everything. My website is samlyonmusic.com.
Right. And can we get a verbal commitment from you right now that when we do this live, and we will, you'll definitely get involved?
Yes, I'm happy to. You guys have cheered me up.
That's legally binding, that, Sam.
Yeah.
So,
is this the Manx Spirit Showcase?
Manx Spirit Show. Listen, thank you so much. I couldn't think of a better way to start the Carling sessions than talking to you, Sam, finding out more about you, but also listening to the music, which is just Amazing.
Thank you. Honestly, that's so. Oh, I feel like because I've taken such a break from it, to come back and have a lovely session where I've just, completely bounced off you guys and you've cheered me up, and just to have that lovely feedback and reassurance that it still works. I've still got it.
Mate, it still works.
Thank you.
It still works. It's when you get to our age that things start working. Yeah, only good things ahead, mate, for you. And whatever we can do to support it, even on the maid side, when we're more on Twitter, although we're pretty active on Instagram, but tag us in. Mm-hmm. Listen, I honestly mean it. I couldn't think of a better way to start this off. And
thank you.
Thanks for spending an hour with two old blokes.
No. Thank you for having me. Honestly, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sam. It's really cheered me up today. I appreciate that.
Sam, honestly, we're two miserable bastards and you put smiles on our face.
Oh, no, it was lovely to meet you both. Thank you.
You too. You take care, yeah?
Yes, and you as well.
All right. Speak soon.
See you later.
Bye, mate. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.